My name is Eric. I'm 41. I live in Pflugerville, and I'm a staff accountant for a local beverage company.
Amazing. Eric, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
We're excited to chat. So tell us a bit about what brought you here today.
I saw one of those episodes recently, and it looks super helpful. And I thought maybe this is about time for me to go ahead and submit that application, which took me about 3 days to do. So,
Okay, so we are here. Mike and I are here. We are going to unpack your dating life and see what we can do.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Absolutely. You already seem like such a nice guy. This is going to go easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, so get us up to speed. What's going on today in your dating life? Like, what's not working? Where can we be helpful?
So I was in a relationship for nearly 8 years.
Oh, wow.
I took about a year off, and then so I've been doing a bunch of stuff that you said to do. Worked on myself, and then I've been to a lot of things that you said to go to and check out, and it's just I'm finding that alignment is more important than anything, and so finding those kinds of people that I align with has just been really difficult.
What are you having trouble aligning on? Like what is the thing that you're looking for that they're not, or vice versa?
Christianity.
Okay.
Fitness. Health,
Okay.
No drinking.
So Jesus, sober,
Yeah.
no fatties.
No fatties.
All right.
She's out there.
Yeah.
You live in Austin.
Have you been at any of the run clubs?
So
I feel like they all love Jesus and hate drinking.
yeah. It's been so I have a full reconstruction surgery on my right ankle.
Oh no.
Really difficult. So, but Blaine said to go do run clubs, so I was like, okay, Christian run clubs.
Wait, I didn't say go do run club if you can't run.
Yeah,
You had
I know, but I was
reconstructive
like-
surgery.
Yeah.
To be clear, I didn't
His
give this.
ankle just got fixed.
This was not personalized advice I gave.
I know, but I was just like, man, I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm not finding anything. So,
Like, screw your reconstructed ankle.
so I asked my physical therapist. I was like, what does it look like if I try to run? She's like, don't do it. It's gonna suck. And I'm like,
And you went anyway?
so I was like, oh, okay, let's look for good shoes.
Okay. So first thing, we gotta listen to doctors. That's gonna help in dating because listening is super important.
Sounds like you listened to me though. Wait, so
Yeah.
because you say like the advice I gave you, are you referring to the advice I give on Instagram, or have you taken any of my courses?
I've taken your Approach Academy course and your Texting Online course.
Okay, great. We
Both
love
of
to
them are
hear it.
fantastic.
I'm gonna hook you up with my masterclass
Oh my God.
after this.
Okay.
Look at that. That's so exciting.
I mean, I love that you're following directions. So, like, we got to personalize the advice a little bit to you. So
I
that's
know,
why we're
right?
here. No more run clubs if your doctor
Yes.
said do not run.
But,
No more run
coffee
club.
shops weren't working. I went to the weekend ice plunge thing. That wasn't really working. So, it was-
The weekend,
So-
coffee and chill, or what's the
yeah, coffee and chill.
That's a great event.
So one thing I'm hearing is like a lot of pressure on these things to work. So one thing I will say that like really will help is the things that you authentically enjoy, going to enjoy them rather than just for the purpose of meeting someone.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing that all women can smell that's like desperation.
Oh yeah.
And as soon as they pick that up, it doesn't matter how awesome and compatible you are. They're like, he's here with ulterior motives. And women have been hit on by guys with ulterior motives their entire life. So if you're at the coffee and plunge thing, but you're like, where are the bitches at? Or respectfully, where the God-loving women at?
Yeah.
Then they're like, well, they're worried that you have ulterior. And there's a lot of people that will put on these things as a mask, and they will be Christian so they can meet women at church, or they will be into running because that's a great way to meet them. But if you're doing these things because you like doing them, you're going to meet the people that like doing them, you know?
So I started with the run club
Mhm.
because I thought I'm kind of looking for a new home church. And I thought that'd be a good place to start. So
Nice.
Are there
So-
Christian specific run clubs?
yes.
Oh
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Yeah, you know
Running
about
for
this?
Jesus. Yeah.
yeah.
They're
so,
super into it.
I knew run clubs, and I obviously know about church, but I didn't know there was like a combo.
Yeah, there was like an actual thing, and they do.
Wait,
like,
that is a great intersection of like what you're interested
right.
in.
Yeah.
So it's like fellowship before, and then like they talk about Bible stuff. They do prayer, and then before and after. So
And how did okay, but you didn't meet anyone? Tell us more. Like, were there cute girls there?
oh yeah. So the first one I went to, there was a cute girl there, and so I just went and talked to her like afterwards. I used one of your lines, and so yep.
What'd you say?
Hey, I noticed you from over there. I want to come over and introduce myself. And so my name's Eric. So
How'd it go? What'd she say?
Yeah, we talked for like a good little while.
Mm-hmm.
She's Catholic, and she was telling me that she was looking for, what is it, an old-fashioned relationship, and she was looking to wait until marriage, which is something that kind of
That came up in this first conversation.
I know,
Were
right?
you asking about this? Like, this isn't even a dating event.
That's
No.
so sick.
So I did
She's
what
like,
you
by the way.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
nah.
So I started with the running thing, and then I told her I was like looking for a church, and I asked what church she goes to, and then she told me Catholic, and I was like, okay, what do you like about Catholicism? She's like, it's old fashioned, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. What old fashioned stuff do you like? And she said those things, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So
Okay.
I don't know.
And then what happened? Were you like, okay, I'm not, like, did you ask for her number? Like, was there a vibe?
No, so that was another thing I wanted to ask you today was just like, it seems like a super high stigma, like Christian women. And so it's like, so it didn't even cross my mind. And I thought run clubs was like a repeat exposure kind of a deal.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to see her again. Never saw her. So,
Never saw her again. Yeah, so that's tough. Like, I'm a big fan of it. If it's like the gym or a workout class where you are confident you're going to see them again, don't ask the first time. Like, get to know them, build some trust. Run club is a little different because it is more like transit. I feel like, like people come, people go. Like, you might not see them again, so you have to kind of weigh the pros and cons. But you do know what church she goes to now.
yes. So somewhere in Central Austin.
Okay, so you actually don't know what church she goes
Well,
to.
I remember
There's a lot of churches.
Saint something.
Yeah,
There's a
Saint
lot of
something, and it
churches.
starts with an
Central
A.
option.
So I was
Probably
like,
St. Andrews.
I
That
don't
seems
know.
like a big one.
Okay, so you didn't ask for her number. Do you wish you had?
Kinda, yeah. We were talking for a little while, and
She was asking you questions back?
yeah, and so it seemed like it was okay. And she was there with a group, so she went back with her group, and I was like, okay. I figured I'd see her again.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that sounds like a green light opportunity or situation where you could have asked for her number.
Right.
Because you can also do it there's two sides of this coin. Like, you can be direct and say, hey, I really liked chatting with you. I would love to get dinner sometime, and make it clear that it's a date or romantic. Or you can say, like, I would love to, maybe go to church together sometime, and keep it a little more platonic until you get to know her more. I'm not super familiar with like the Christian groups and what they expect there. And like, given she said she wants something more traditional and old school, she might appreciate taking it more slow and like asking to go to church together. But whether or not she wants to give you her number is going to tell you whether or not there's like any hope down the road.
Right. So that didn't even cross my mind.
To ask for her number?
No, because
What-
I was there talking to like everyone. I talked to like.
Oh, well, that's a
dozen
good
other-
place.
I
That's
think,
like what Mike said.
I think he nailed it. Like, because
Yeah.
if you go for the number right away and she just talked about how old fashioned she likes
Yeah, that's
it,
a good point.
it's like it does in any other situation. If it was just like a normal Austin
Yeah.
chick and you meet and that happens, sure,
Yeah.
ask for the number. But I think you played it right.
I actually think
now
you're
I
right.
think this is the thing that makes it old fashioned and special is you get this awesome meet cute story of you kept going to run club and the next time you see her, you're like, oh snap, let's go Jesus. That's my boy.
Yeah.
I think you're actually right there. I think like taking it slow is good. And like, who knows, if you're meant to be, your paths will cross again,
Right.
whether it's at church or at the run club. So it sounds like you did really well there. You approached a woman, you had a great conversation, you made a connection. Boom.
Yeah.
So were you doing like, that sounds like you were doing the right things. Are you doing enough of that? Like, where else are you meeting women? How often are you approaching women?
So I don't go out that often because I have chronic fatigue syndrome.
Okay.
I try to make.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. Talk to me about this.
So I was in a really bad relationship for nearly 8 years.
Yeah.
Turned really bad, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of screaming at me and a lot of stuff. And so like my physical therapist, she was like, "Hey, you need to like your central nervous system can't calm down. You should really like try to focus on recovery." And eventually I started to get really sick, and it feels like the flu almost,
Mhm.
except like just taking out the trash just feels like I did like a hard leg day. So it was exhausting. And so
That's chronic fatigue syndrome.
yeah, so like
How do you get it?
can't-
From like her yelling at you?
No, it's like just being in a constant fight or flight state and then never getting to recover, and then your body just finally breaking, and then so just shuts down, and then so now my CNS is like unable to recover at a full capacity. So
Oh, that sounds awful.
yeah, so
Have you tried mushrooms?
no.
I just as a person that has had a lot of experience with that, can't recommend it enough.
Okay.
Just one try. John the Baptist did them, so it's in the Bible.
Okay, okay.
Would you ever do mushrooms in a controlled state, like for a medical use.
Sure, maybe. Yeah.
I think that could work.
Yeah.
Snap you out of it? Is that
Yeah.
like
I miss X, so.
Yeah.
you what?
I miss X.
Oh, ecstasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another one. So the thing, so were you doing like the old pressed pills with the logos on them, like Blue Dolphins and Red Louis Vuittons,
like
or were you
10
doing
years
Molly?
ago.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
wait, I'm sorry. So you are sober now, but you used to be like a raver or
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right, there it is. See, he's smiling. Look at that happiness.
Yeah.
just thinking about the ecstasy that could be. Maybe
Yeah.
you just need to revisit that part of your life. Just kidding. No,
Maybe
probably not.
EDC.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. A lot to unpack here. Okay. So maybe mushrooms could be a good way to like, divert your path forward.
Yeah. So I got really sick for 2 years, but
Yeah.
it finally like tapered off just before we broke up.
hmm
And then, but I didn't tell her it was like tapering off because I didn't want her to get too excited.
You didn't want her to want to stay with you, like
No, I didn't want her to get her hopes up. Like all of a sudden I was like, okay. Cause I wasn't even sure like I was okay. Like it just kind of eventually, it just slowly started allowing me to go back into the gym. So, and then I got super overweight. And then finally, like it really, like falling asleep after 5 o'clock finally went away. So,
okay, wow. So is this like, okay, you had your ecstasy days, then you're in this long-term relationship. Then you get your chronic fatigue while you're still in this relationship.
Yeah.
While you're breaking up, you start to come out of it. So maybe
Yeah.
she was part of the problem.
oh, she was definitely the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Like my physical
Great.
therapist is like, I wish I could have told you. So,
Okay, so everyone else was like, oh my God, this guy is getting
Yeah, yeah.
dragged down by this woman.
yeah.
And then what was the straw that broke the camel's back? How did you eventually get out of that relationship?
So she didn't want to deal with me being sick anymore, and she met someone else at the gym that she had more in common with.
So she left you for him?
Yeah, and then she'd been seeing this guy for like 6 months before she actually broke up with me, and
So you found out after that she'd been cheating on you?
yeah,
How'd
And
you
then-
find out?
because so we have a house together. We had a house together.
You
and-
owned a house
yeah,
together.
and so
Yeah.
like initially she wanted to break up and just say, it's just you and me. I just don't want to. And then all of a sudden she just started seeing this other guy. And I'm like, how does that work out? And then so like after all this fighting that we were going through, because she was still living in the house, come to find out she had started her relationship with this guy like a few weeks before breaking up with me while she had plans to break up with me. So
There was overlap.
You deserve a good Christian woman after that. That's evil.
Are
I'm
they
sorry
still
that happened to you.
together?
I don't know. So
Ugh.
Wow.
You owned a house together, so that's like a lot of unraveling.
yeah,
Did you have a dog?
yes, he's
Oh.
fine. He's a birthday gift.
Phew.
So
So I'm glad you said he's mine. I thought you said he's blind, and I was like, oh, that's
Oh, he's so cute. What's his name?
Odin. So
Odin.
so
Okay, well, thank God you got him in the breakup.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
He's a
so
birthday gift. So
yeah,
yeah.
No
so-
takesy backsies.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been broken up for a while. What's the last date you went on?
So about 2 months ago, I had this theory on Hinge that maybe my age is like keeping me from not being able to get dates or matches. So
And remind us, you're 41.
41, I'll be 42 next month. So
Okay.
Capricorn.
No.
Oh,
Aquarius.
all right, all right. Whatever. Thought we were gonna bond, brother. Yeah.
I mean, we're good.
Yeah, yeah. Girls
Uh,
love astrology. It's very important. Just know some stuff about it. It helps.
I know.
That-
Libras and Geminis and Sagittarius for me. So
Oh,
apparently.
I'm a Sag.
Look at that.
Yeah. So,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, so 2 months ago, wait, you were on Hinge. Did you lie about your age?
Yes.
No.
Because I was like 6 months, nothing happened like at 41. And I
It's
was
the
like,
over 40 curse.
yeah. So I was like, let me just try this theory out. And then as soon as I change it to 31, I get matched with 2 smoke shows. One of them woke up to her liberal senses.
You changed it to 31? You went
Yeah.
10 years?
I mean,
I said
here's the
84,
thing.
94, so it's an easy.
You've
to
got
remember.
the Asian blessing. You could
Yeah.
easily be 31.
Is he 31? Is he 41? Or is he 91?
If
Nobody
you told
knows.
me you were 25 or 55, I would be like, yeah. So for sure. Can I say something about dating apps? Just a
Please.
hot take. Stop wasting your time on them. Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, all of them. Any woman that is desirable that is on there are a bunch of red flags that she's smart as hiding. Like you are going to end up with another cheater or a BPD or something, just a grenade, Because if you are over 30 and you're a woman and you're on dating apps, that's because no man has tried you that found you valuable. Every woman is out there.
I don't know about that.
Women are the gorgeous women that are like really amazing. All of them are happily married by the time they're 30. It's all the ones that I meet. Or they're like super career driven, which is great and have a career, but they're not on Bumble. It's a 1 in a million shot. It's a lottery. There are exceptions to every rule, but just the quality of the people you're going to meet on there, even if they say they're looking for something serious, that's a lie they're telling themselves outwardly so that they can just go be casual.
For men and women or just women?
Absolutely. It's for both.
Okay.
It's truly, everybody that's on there has decided that they don't want to put in the effort of doing in real life stuff. And they've taken the shortcut of here's an app I can swipe, I can pay some money. Those are all trying to sell you stuff. All those apps just want to make money off of you. And there's no point in you giving your money away when you could just go be out there. I do very well and I look like this. So like I'm a fat guy and I don't care much about Jesus and I drink way too much and I'm a stand-up comedian that's emotionally unavailable and I do great. So like I'm telling you.
Are you single?
Yeah, but I don't have to be.
Swimming in it.
Yeah. So I'm just saying like you have like a very stable life. You have a lot of things that women find very desirable. I'm wondering where your confidence went. And it sounds like an 8-year nightmare relationship took that away from you. But I don't think you got to settle for, if you want to go and run through some chicks just to get your muscles back, then sure, dating apps are the way to do that. But
okay, I have a different theory around why dating apps are bad. No, please don't apologize.
This is my thoughts.
I love that hot take. But the other thing about dating apps is if you want to match with attractive women, and even unattractive women on dating apps have so many matches that it's really hard to stand out. But okay, so you changed your age by 10 years, which is
bonkers.
Kind of crazy.
It's easy to remember. So 84, 94. That's why.
But what was your plan? Like, were you going to date these women and then like meet up with them and then tell them your real age, or were you just gonna like live the lie?
I don't know. I was like, that's another road to like,
that's like a problem for future me.
Yeah, like we'll cross that bridge when we get there, kind of deal.
So did you went on dates with these women?
No, just one.
Okay, but you didn't tell them, you didn't tell her your age.
Far. I didn't even get that far.
Okay, what happened?
So we went to a coffee shop and she was great. And so this was like a week in advance I knew. So I literally studied all of your podcasts, took notes on everything, looked to address the common problem of like creating that romantic connection. And I put it all together and some.
What were your takeaways? I'm loving that you reviewed all of my material, but like what were you taking notes on?
Yeah, I love this. I should have taken your classes. I'm so interested.
So
wow, oh my God.
So eventually I created a conversation map.
You're studious.
Because
wait, you planned the conversation for the date?
So one of the approaches I had done with another woman, like I had brain fog from chronic fatigue and I couldn't think of an answer. And so I was like, oh, I don't want this to happen on a date. So I created a conversation map to like kind of navigate.
How strictly are you sticking to this map?
It's not super strict, but I kind of had an idea of like based on rapport building, how it
helped you. It made you feel more confident going in.
Right. But also like I had planned some jokes in there.
Okay. Does she deserve the energy I've built? I bring a lot to the table and deserve to be there. We like that.
Yeah.
Confident boost before going in. Stand up straight. Attack the opportunity. Posture is mandatory. In agreement. Greet her with a hug. You look amazing. Later, tell her that she's beautiful. You must make her feel desired. Okay. This is straight out of my content.
Yeah.
Physical touch, goal of 6 times. It's not a business meeting. Lean in closer, glance at mouth and eyes, hold eye contact slightly longer. Put hand on table closer to hers. Acknowledge what she said. Share something about yourself. Ask another question about same topic. Okay, Knoxville, tap leg. How Southern are you? The South will rise again.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, whoa. I love this, but also this feels so clinical.
Did you use that line? The South will rise again?
With a Southern accent, so.
Can you please reenact that for us?
Please.
Put your hand on Mike's leg just like you did with her.
Okay. The South will rise again.
And what context did that come up?
So I was like, so how come you don't have a Southern accent? You're from Knoxville. Like, and she was like, oh, I don't, but my friends do. And I'm like, okay, so what does it sound like this? And so I said it, and she was like, and she just started laughing. So
I see why.
yeah.
Nice.
So, but yeah.
I mean, that's a good move.
Yeah.
That's a fun joke.
The South will rise again. Okay. How did you find your way to Austin? School in Tennessee, nurse. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I polish dolphins in captivity.
It's just a fake job thing. Just a joke. So,
That was a joke.
yeah.
I feel like if you deliver that with a straight face like that, I could do very well.
Yeah.
Especially if
Yeah.
you've already given off funny.
I polish dolphins in captivity. So scrape the crustaceans off. So,
And then she's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then what do you
Yeah.
say?
and then that's staff accountant. So
And then you're like, actually, I'm an accountant. Womp womp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not womp womp. It's stable. It's a good job.
Not as nearly
But
as exciting as working with dolphins.
I will say this is the most
Dolphin.
accountant way I've ever seen to handle a date. You have a flow chart with built-in jokes, which is awesome. My fear is how much of this is running in your brain.
I just
Yeah.
had like
as opposed to responding
just
in
being-
real time.
Yeah, because like
Just,
so that's a huge mistake men make is that we listen to respond instead of listening to understand.
Mhm.
And if you're listening to find where this fits on the flow chart, just inherently there's going to be some mental processes that are tied up. Because like when it says physical touch goal of 6 times, move your hand closer to hers, a lot of that is going to be subconscious mirroring. That's where those things are picked up from. It's NLP stuff. Like when you are building rapport with someone, their body language will mirror yours. But if you're trying to artificially do that, then you've created something. There's an uncanny valley that we pick up when things aren't right. So
Yeah,
it's like when you feel a used car salesman trying to use physical touch to make you feel more comfortable and using your name a
Yeah.
bunch of times, you can feel it and you're like, we're not there yet, you know?
no.
Yeah, I'm definitely concerned that you might be focusing too much on like, oh, wait, what's the next thing I'm supposed to talk about as opposed to what's happening. I also like that you've like answered your own questions. What's your most embarrassing fear? Heights, just in case you forget yours.
Yeah.
Well, because I wanted to. One girl, she asked me the same question I asked her, and then my mind just blanked. 'Cause the
That's
brain
a
fog-
problem. Yeah, you have to
brain
have.
fog. So I had to like answer them. So I was
Mhm.
like, okay, so I'll put in an answer.
Among your friends, what are you known for?
Super disciplined.
Yeah.
Because here you put being jacked and shredded.
That too.
It's a fun
That's a
joke to
joke.
say. That's fun to
Is
say.
that a joke?
Yeah, that was a joke, but
Okay.
super disciplined is like
When was the last time you were like super embarrassed by something?
today.
Yeah, I can feel like the nerves. I want to give you like embarrassment exposure therapy because I feel like there's so much like writing on this and you're like, I gotta make it work. And it's like, man,
What would you do for embarrassment exposure therapy? She like come sit in like the front row of one of your shows and you'll like roast him in front of a group of people?
no, but I mean, I would say go sign up for an open mic and just do one of these
Ooh.
terrible open mics in Austin because you obviously have an idea of being funny and you get what funny is. And getting on stage and being less funny than you think you are is so mortifying that first time that you really just, it's such an overload of the system. And you're like, oh yeah, nothing's really that bad. Cause it feels like I just want to give you a hug, be like, buddy, it's okay. You're like, this date doesn't have to go perfect. She doesn't have to be the one. You don't have to crush this. Like you're there. Like that first sentence that you wrote in there is true. Like you have a lot of great energy. You are worthy and deserving of love. Let's see if she agrees with that and finds that out about you. Like this is an opportunity to meet someone, not an assignment that you have to check off the boxes. Like you've taken this very studious approach because you care very much, but like, love you. Like, look how much work you've done. So let's bring the happiness, like that confidence from all that work in there to it, you know?
I think you're on the right track where obviously these things don't come naturally to you. So you've studied them and you've created lists, and that's a really good starting point. And it's just going to take practice, I think, of getting out there and doing it. So all of this becomes second nature. So you don't feel like you need to check your notes app to like see what the next line is or what the next joke is. It's about going on more dates. So what happened on this date? You use these jokes, you get some laughs, and then what?
She was laughing like the whole time, and
Okay, amazing.
yeah, I thought it was going really well. She told me about her father's guilt that he has with her and how she felt about it. I thought it was kind of beautiful the way she looked at it, and she was looking at long term. And so,
Did you tell her that?
yeah, I told her it was like a level 7 consciousness kind of thing with Ken Wilber's AQAL. So, and she was like, oh, I don't really know what that is. I just quickly explained it, and she was like, oh, that's cool. So, genuine compliments. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And then what happened at the end of the
sh-
date? How did you end things?
One of those things that you talked about was trying to set future plans on the first date. So tried to do that. And then she was telling me that her puppy would love to meet me. So, and probably like me. So
Green light.
I was like,
Let's
great, this is
go.
awesome. And then she's like, at the end of the date, no kiss. I tried to go for one. She's like, I just don't kiss on the first dates. And
Tell us how that happened. Like you leaned in, like how did it go?
I walked her to her car, gave her a hug, and I was like, I really want to kiss you right now. So yeah. And then she's like, I don't kiss on the first dates. And I was like, okay, cool. Something to look forward to.
Great response. Great response.
And then and she said, okay, and then we'll text about seeing each other again. So I was like, okay, cool. And then a few hours later, texted one of the things you said to text based on a template. And she's like, no romantic chemistry. She thought I was very sweet, funny, nice, and a wonderful person, but just.
How did that make you feel?
Oh, I was very disheartened.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh man, this is great. She had all my must-haves based on from up to that point, and just kind of sucked.
Yeah. I get that it's disappointing. It's always disappointing when someone doesn't return the feelings that you have, but I think you should look at all of the things that you did really well and give yourself a pat on the back.
Absolutely.
I don't condone lying about your age by 10 years.
Yes.
But it sounds like everything else, like you showed up, you picked a good date spot where you were able to sit by her, insert some physical touch, you had good talk tracks lined up, you had some like jokes, like even though it might have like felt a little prescriptive, and that might be where like some of the romantic vibe wasn't being felt because you're not quite relaxed enough for that to come out yet. You did a lot of stuff really well. And even if you're doing everything 100% right, you still have to meet a lot of women to find somebody that you have that mutual connection with.
Right.
So like, I don't count that as a loss or
that seems awesome. I'm very curious about like your church interaction. You said you were looking for a church. Have you found one?
No, it's been difficult.
So
why?
Yeah.
I have theological disagreements with what the services are, and some of the people and what they're using the Bible for. So
gotcha. Like political differences with it, or just like specifically dogmatic differences with biblical teachings?
A lot of biblical teachings. This past Bible study I went to the other night, he misquoted or misused a verse that Jesus said, telling people to donate to charity. When Jesus was calling out he was condemning the churches taken from the poor until they had nothing left. And this guy went on about it, telling other people, if you're less fortunate, you should still donate. And I'm like, that's not even what it said.
Did you call him out?
No, I was first time there and I was like, that's not my place.
So, I mean, that's an easy check. Like, this is not a good fit. That's not a place for me. Yeah. So I think like, you seem like one of those guys that I would want to set up with my girlfriends. And I feel like a lot of people.
Got any girlfriends for him?
I don't, because they're, I don't want to ruin you. I have some people that if you want to do some not Christ-like things, I could hook you up with. They would love to have a great time because you're such a nice guy. But I think like our circles are going to be very separate because I'm not a church guy and I'm a big drinking party guy. But in terms of like sober community and Christian community, there's a lot of churches here in Austin, and there's a lot of them that have like a lot of social groups with them. And I've got friends that go and do those, pretty frequently. So I think like that's a great way to start, is making some guy friends. Like, do you have a lot of guy friends?
So one of the at Coffee and Chill, met some guys. They saw me in the cold plunge. And they were impressed. And then they came and talked to me. And then, so we were good friends for a little while. And then he was starting to get chronic fatigue too. And then he had to move back to Colorado. So yeah.
Damn.
So you need to make some more friends here.
Yeah. And then my best friend, he lives in Dallas. So.
Okay, so you need some guy friends here. But I agree, between the sober community and the church community, that should be like, those are great places.
A bajillion friends.
A bajillion friends waiting to swoop you up into their community. I also think like, I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, that church like was the one, but just because there's like one person at a church that says something you disagree with, I wouldn't write off the entire church.
6 pastors I've had issues with.
At the same church?
No, at different churches. So.
Excuse my lack of church knowledge, is the pastor like the head of the church?
One of them, no, 2 of them are. Yeah, so.
So if like you disagree with them, like, I'm just thinking like there's like maybe like other people in the church, other people talking. It's like just because you don't agree with what one person says, like you might not need to write off the whole church and the whole community.
That's what I was trying to do. I was like, maybe like just Bible study groups, just focus on that, focus on the community, making friends there, like just building kind of networking.
Because anytime someone tells me like, oh, like I have tried 6 times and there's always a problem with some like the person there, I tend to be like, okay, well, like you're the common denominator at all of these.
So no, I totally get that. And I'm like kind of even wondered about that. And even like went to my study Bible and I checked with ChatGPT about this stuff too. And like just the way that they interpreted like characters in the Bible is just wrong, so, in my opinion. So, and the translation that they're using is just not right either. So
what did ChatGPT have to say about it?
ChatGPT uses the NASB, the New American Standard, that I told it to use, and the actual translation of the words is very different from what these churches are using. So
ChatGPT was on your side.
Because
that's the problem with ChatGPT. It's always on your side.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
and if it's using that Bible versus King James or whatever.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're slowly checking off the churches in Austin. You can't give up. You need to keep pursuing that avenue.
Yeah, it's only been 2 months. So.
Oh, okay. That's not
that's good. What are you doing for the sober side of things? Do you do like a 12-step program? Do you have groups in that?
No.
Okay, I'm just curious. Just curious. Yeah.
You're not like in recovery. You just don't drink.
I just don't. I'm just basically a muscle Mormon. So just.
What's a muscle Mormon?
Yeah, tell me. This is fun. I like new terms.
Drink or do drugs. So just focused on fitness. So.
A muscle. Oh, okay. I see. Unrelated to being Mormon, except for the fact that you don't do those things.
Yeah. Do you do caffeine?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Pre-workout is basically legal meth.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
What do you do for your workouts? Could this be an avenue besides Run Club, which we know is not good for your reconstructed ankle?
Yeah. So I love powerlifting. I've been lifting for like 20 years.
Yeah. What gym do you go to?
So I go to Los Campeones. So
nice.
So I'm there 5 a.m. So
not a good time to meet women.
Not at all.
See, and then so on the weekends I'll go to different gyms, different locations. So
what about workout classes?
Women love workout classes.
That's where I met my husband.
I know. Berries.
Yep. Shout out Berries.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Do a quiz on how much you know.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love this. I love how much you absorb stuff though. Like that's really cool. Like you genuinely care so much.
Yeah, like Kobe Bryant was a huge influence on me. So he always looked to people that are great at whatever he was learning to do. So just kind of took that on.
Nice.
I love that. Well, and it's really smart to listen to a woman because like it bums me out when I see so many of my guy friends that have gotten into the manosphere and they get into like just crazy misogynistic takes. And it's like, oh buddy, no. Totally. Like this is how you end up single forever is if you just objectify women and look at them that way. And that happens a lot. And you're doing the opposite. And that's really cool. I like to see that. I want success for you. We got to.
I think you need to try some workout classes. Berries. Solid core.
Orange Theory.
Yeah.
As a fat, these are all scary to me, but
because those all harvest community too. Like they have events outside of the gym, like people hang out and talk there. You need to optimize for places where it's natural to talk to people and get to know people. Because clearly you don't have a problem approaching and like having nice conversations, making people feel heard. So you just need more shots on goal and more practice at it. So like you start to feel more relaxed when you're doing it and less stiff.
And if a woman sees you straining, you are more attractive. Like if you're crushing a workout and you're sweating, it's just hot. It's just innate. So that's good.
So that helps.
Yeah, man. That's really important. You've worked very hard. Let's use it.
Dude, I lost 50 pounds.
That's sick.
So
wow.
Hell yeah.
That breakup was dragging you down.
Yeah, you're a new man.
Wait, let's see a fat pic. Wow. Yeah, you look way better.
Yeah. You have to talk so the camera goes to you?
Oh, yeah, look at this one. You look amazing now.
Yeah,
Do you
thank
feel good?
Oh, yeah, 100%. So I just want to maintain this, and I'm finally happy with it, too. So
Have you been to workout classes before?
No.
Because you were looking kind of like sheepish.
Yeah, what's scary?
No, I'm just old school about it. I don't even touch a Smith machine, so.
What's that? What's a Smith machine?
It's the guided racks. So you just lift free weights?
I lift free weight. I love powerlifting.
That's
okay.
Squat, bench, and
yeah,
deadlift,
but you want to meet chicks or not?
I know. So I was like going to like different gyms and like trying that, and just like sometimes, I don't know, it's just difficult at the gym. like an open floor gym. Like the last time I talked to a girl at the gym, she just, after I talked to her, she was nice and everything. She just went to go sit by her boyfriend. I didn't even know it was her boyfriend or even there.
That's going to happen.
I feel like classes are a better move than just straight up gym.
Totally.
Because I feel like, when you go to the gym, you love powerlifting. Like when you go there, you want to lift. Women are the same way. They want to go and do the treadmill for 6 hours and then go and lift 5-pound weights for 10 minutes. And then they want to leave. Like that's why they're there. And then you come up and they're like, ugh. It's just you have so much to overcome with that first interaction with them. Unless they're looking at you like, damn, there's not really like a good chance for you to go in. I feel like I hate that people have taken the gym as a place to meet people and hit on them. Like, unless there's an obvious connection, it's just like, this is a place to work out. Let's do workout.
Classes make more sense.
Classes are a social activity. They're
definitely an Orange Theory in Pflugerville, I feel like.
And don't look at it as a lifting thing. This is just a fun social thing you're doing. You're going to see
you're burning calories, bonus points.
Yeah, see if you can get a high score at Orange Theory,
Chronic fatigue, so
fair.
I have to like manage my energy. So
okay.
Fair.
Trying to.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Run club's been killing me. So
yeah, but I think we can like skip the run club if your doctor is saying no.
Definitely out on the run club if you have a reconstructed ankle, brother.
I bought shoes for it and I looked at running techniques so I could do it and I had a metric to go by. And
you can utilize your running shoes at Orange Theory. Put them to good use there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So are you still online dating?
Kinda, I guess.
Let's see your profile.
I just made it just for you, so.
Oh.
So.
Let's take a peek here. Ooh, you look great in this photo.
Yeah, that's a great photo.
Yeah.
Do you normally wear glasses? Because you don't have glasses on in any of these photos.
I have contacts too, but
okay.
Just with chronic fatigue, there's been eye dryness sometimes, so it just makes it easier to just wear glasses.
A boundary of mine is the property line for my house: 4-bedroom, 2-bath, brick, 1-story, dodging
I mean, sick flex. I own a home, motherfucker. Like that's such a cool way to put it. A boundary of mine is my property line.
Dodging AC issues of a 2-story flat driveway, backyard for puppies, walking distance to all grade schools, views of small planes landing, trail to the main event park.
I would take off half of that so it doesn't become a real estate listing.
You said to be like super specific and just make it. So I was like,
but I definitely don't say long. I agree. Lose the second half of it. Okay. It is like funny.
More concise it is, the better it's going to be.
Dude, Eric, you look hot in these pics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was his best man. Make sure you see the prompts.
I'm going down. I'm getting there. Changed my mind about if you didn't almost die in Hawaii, did you really have fun? Cliff jumping at all the secret spots, swimming with sea turtles, snorkeling, hiking 4 miles to a waterfall, and racing back before the sunset, and surfing, of course. Yeah. A little long.
I almost drowned 3 times in Hawaii. So.
Jeez.
How'd you almost drown 3 times? Do you know how to swim?
Oh yeah, I'm a strong swimmer, but I'm not stronger than the ocean. So
yeah.
There was one beach had like a sign with tally marks of how many people died at that beach.
And you were like, I gotta swim there.
I got this.
Yeah.
Man, you love Jesus so much you're trying to meet him. That's crazy.
I actually like this skee ball video. I'm normally a very anti-video.
No way it went in? That's baller. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at everything.
And you have the message.
That's pretty cool.
2 truths and a lie. 1, best night of your life. 2, we get married. 3, you ruin my life. I don't get it.
Yeah, I would take.
I would nick.
Yeah, no, I get it, but you don't want to throw marriage out that fast. Yeah. You're gonna scare.
Yeah.
Stop scaring the host.
You and a pile of dogs. That's cute. Women love dogs.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you are like insanely ripped, but I don't like love that photo. I actually feel like we already get the idea that you're like in sick shape through the rest of these photos, and that one feels like an overkill and like maybe a little like scary ripped.
That one does look like I don't care if you say no. Like it's just, that's like so jacked.
Showing off my best feature with the best pose. So
no, but I feel like you already like. I love this one where you're shirtless because you're on a boat and you're holding a dog. Like that. Like you look in great shape there. Yeah. You look in great shape in all of these. This is really good.
So the
thing
fact
is, you're 41. So
when you overemphasize the jack thing now because you have it's already featured and you have the shirtless with the dog on the boat. That's the best version of that photo. When you have the Mr. Olympia pose going on, now it's like, oh, he's a gym bro.
Yeah, and he's like cares too much about it.
Yeah, like the first date, he's gonna be like, hold on, I gotta go do 15 reps.
Because we can see you're in amazing shape in the rest of these photos. Your profile is actually pretty good. Okay, so you need to shorten the first prompt. I would like do something else for the Hawaii one. It just like didn't really do much for me.
Okay.
And then like 2 truths and a lie is actually a great prompt because it gets people guessing, but you need to have things that are telling her about you. And then the lie should be something that's like almost true. So it's like, I don't know that much about you yet.
Yeah. So
But-
you brought it up before. You were a pilot.
Yeah.
So
I almost died, drowned in Hawaii 3 times.
I flew planes for however many years, and I can do 3 backflips in a row. And then when they go, which one is it? You go, I can only do 2 backflips.
Yeah, perfect. How many backflips can you do?
1.
Let's go. I knew he could do a backflip. I had such a
just
strong
got-
feeling. I had such a strong feeling.
No, you
He's
can't.
amazing at everything. He did a behind the back skee ball into the 100 slot. This guy can
Therefore,
definitely.
he can do a backflip?
Absolutely.
Can you really do a backflip?
No.
Oh, brother. You sold me.
Bamboozled.
Damn. I should have known with the ankle.
Yeah, actually.
Damn.
That's why he had reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
Too many backflips.
I don't know. You're Cirque du Soleil shaped. I assumed you
Yeah.
could do a backflip. That's so cool.
You should work on that so you can add that to your dating app profile.
Yeah, that's perfect. But put I can do a backflip because I'm like, can you really do a backflip? No, I had reconstructive surgery, but I do like to work out a lot. Boom. Now you're talking about working out. What church do you go to? Let's go to Bible study. We can have communion wine after or not. Never mind. Sorry, I forgot you're sober. But
I'm okay with drinking. It's just not my thing. So,
interesting.
Yeah, fair
Okay.
enough.
like, if I had to go, I'll go and have a drink. Like, I went Halloween for an espresso martini because that's like a newer thing since. And so I was like, what is this fad? So,
They're
Well,
good.
I don't think espresso martinis are new, but new to you. You hadn't
Yeah.
had one before, and now you do you like them?
it's pretty good.
Okay, so you're not like sober, you just don't really drink.
Yeah. So,
Fair
and I'm
enough.
just more concerned about like my weight and just
Sure.
like maintaining it because I don't know if I'm going to get sick again, which I don't think I will, but
Not if
I
you
got-
do the mushrooms, not if you take
I know.
Dr. Mike's advice over here and have a little mushroom journey.
I got really
Maybe
fat.
ayahuasca,
Maybe.
It's
but
pretty fun. DMT's a good time.
I'm just saying.
snap you out of it.
Yeah. So I'm okay now, but
Yeah.
I'm just worried that I'll get fat and then not be able to go to the gym again. So
Yeah. Well, I think you seem very on top of it, so I wouldn't over worry about, you know.
I've been binging on oatmeal apple pie cookies at HEB. So they're so good.
So anything's possible.
Anything's possible. And I've just been like in this 4-pound loop every week. So
Do you have any dates coming up? Okay, well, don't sweat 4 pounds. I think
Yeah.
you're too in your head about your weight.
yeah.
I think you're
there's-
too in your head.
Everything.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. What do you meditate at all?
The gym.
No, but I mean like specific meditation. I feel
Yeah, the gym. Just
Yeah.
like loud music and just like turn my brain off.
okay.
So
That's fair. I feel the thing that seems to be repeating is how much effort and intentionality you're putting into everything that you're doing. But I think that there is a middle path. You know, if you have a guitar tuned too tight, it won't play. And if it's too loose, it won't play. You have to find the right tuning there. And I'm worried that you're wound too tight on this stuff because it feels like changing your age from 41 to 31 and having these specific things and having taken all of her classes and having a flow chart for the date and initiating, you know, you have KPIs for dates. You know, it's loosen up, brother. You know?
it came from her.
No. But so that and she's a great teacher, but that was also her courses that are for everyone. That is to teach everyone to make them better and to give them an idea of what could. But like, so she's going to hook you up
You
with the
have the
master
good
class.
base.
Yeah, you have a great
the right
base.
base. But I do think Mike is onto something where it's like, okay, you know what you need to be doing. And now just like let it flow a little bit more. Like enjoy life a little bit more. Enjoy the process as opposed to like it's a failure because I didn't get the second date or this being so dogmatic about like, or even like this person didn't agree with exactly how I would have interpreted that translation. So therefore like it's not for me. Just being a little more open to the process and like, okay, like I didn't totally agree with that, but there's a lot of people here who I might have things in common with. So I'm going to go back and try it again, as opposed to just writing it off initially, I think would be very helpful for you. And that flows into being on a date too. Like, okay, you have some conversational talking points that you want to hit. You have some jokes that you know get laughs, but see if they come up. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe the conversation flows a different direction. Be okay with that. You know the base material and the rest you need to like lean into and let your authentic self come out.
Yeah, because they want to go on a date with you. They don't want to go on a date with her amazing dating advice. You know, how you interpret what she has said is what makes you, you know, and sticking so dogmatically to that. Yeah, I think you're nailing it.
What do you think about that?
I don't think I was so strict with the conversation that I had on the date.
Good.
Because she was laughing the whole time about stuff that wasn't on there. So
cool.
So if I was able to be that version of myself that was funny, then I think I was pretty authentic.
Yeah, good. So we also can't draw all of these conclusions from one date. You have to go on more.
Yeah.
If you had 10 dates that all went the exact same way, then okay, that tells us something. Like, this isn't a pattern. Like, you just need to go on more dates. You need more top of funnel to even see, you know, am I not creating a romantic connection, or is that just one woman? You can't expect to have a romantic connection with everybody, especially if you're doing the physical touches, if you're leaning in, you know, if you are asking for the kiss and making her feel desired. It's not going to work on everybody, but on the women who there is a vibe with and there is like even possibility of there being a connection, that's when it's going to work.
Yeah, 100%. I think like, and that, you know, I hear, you know, you're turning 42 next month. I feel like there's, you've put on some artificial constraints of like these time constraints, like it has to happen now. And like, and I hear when you say like, you need more top of funnel, that doesn't mean like this week, you know, it's okay if you don't have a date planned
early
up for the next
40s
year.
is prime for men.
Yeah.
You are not too old. You do get filtered out on dating apps from like some women, but not in person. Like you said, you could be 25. Like, you have a wide range of women it would be appropriate to date, anywhere from late 20s up through their 30s. Is like a relevant age for you at this point.
Right. I kind of like, after that date, I just kind of was like, okay, I don't want to do the dating apps anymore because whatever. So but I just made it just for you so you could see it, what I had.
Well, I think it's actually pretty good. I don't think you should, I have a differing opinion than Mike. I don't think you should absolutely
Totally fair,
write
yeah.
off dating apps, but don't put all of your eggs in that basket.
Right.
Use it as like, okay, it's a way to get in front of people I wouldn't necessarily otherwise meet. Maybe it's a few minutes every few days. You go in, you swipe for 10 minutes, you see if you get any matches. It only takes one. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But every single day, focus more on like, okay, I'm talking to people around me at the grocery store. I'm incorporating one workout class a week. I'm trying a new church. You know, I'm doing the other things that are going to allow me to meet like-minded people. And then you already know, like, you have the templates from Approach Academy and from Texting OS, which it sounds like you're really good at implementing to get, if you meet someone, to actually get them on the date.
I'm also going to do something for you. I help run an event here in town called Pitch a Friend.
Oh, I love Pitch a Friend.
Yeah, so
I've seen that.
so we have someone pitch a person in front of, we have up to 800 people at the events. And I help all of the presenters because I'm good at presenting and all of that. But I have kind of carte blanche, so I'm going to pitch you.
Yeah.
The next event. So
Oh
we're
my
gonna sit down and we'll get to know each other. I don't have the date on the event yet, but we'll connect after this. I'll get your information and I'm gonna pitch you at the next event.
Oh my God.
So we're gonna get you
that.
a lot of top level. I pitched my tattoo artist at this, and he got like 45 girls' Instagrams that night. So
whoa.
So we're about to give you a lot of top level.
Can you handle that?
God. That was another thing I wanted to ask you about. Is just like reconciling like dating multiple women. I don't know how people do it anymore. I can't do it. Just.
I think that's a personal call. Like,
I'll handle this now.
Yeah, I'll just pass it back to Mike.
Mike, I'm gonna pass that one to you.
Just kidding.
How do you feel about dating multiple women?
Just literally pass them back to Mike.
I think communication is the most important part of everything. And if women are asking you to be exclusive, you can't lie to them. Lying is never on the table, but also like when it's casual dating, like that shouldn't come up for a couple of dates. Like until you've kissed someone, it's not even close to their business. Like at the very least, like in my world, until I'm sleeping with someone is when we have that conversation of what exclusivity looks like. But like that rapport that you build with them and that where you're finding, you should be talking to multiple women. You're an awesome guy and you should be finding out which ones, and you should be out there casting a net. But when you have a woman that you are talking to and interested in, if you are being pulled in that direction, it's okay to let the other ones know, like, hey, I've met someone, I can't go on this date or whatever. You know, like that's perfectly.
But if you're going on first and second dates, like it's okay. You should be meeting multiple women, not dating them, but just meeting. You don't know, because like a lot of them, they aren't going to feel a romantic connection with you, or you're not going to feel a romantic connection with them. That's normal. That happens most of the time. So you also really need to remember that, like, even if the next date you go on, she doesn't it's not it, don't feel discouraged. Also, seeing as that you are going back to church, you're getting into that lifestyle, is sex before marriage something that you are comfortable with, or is that something you want to wait for?
I don't know. It crossed my mind, so I wasn't sure. And then one of the other things is I want to have kids, so I don't know how it's gonna go.
Good news is you have time.
Yeah. I've just always felt like I was behind. Just
Sure.
it's just
That's okay.
there was a period where I was homeless. So
What?
yeah. So
When was that? In your ecstasy days?
no, it's college, and then both my parents just told me to fuck off. So, and then the rest of my family told me that.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
So just feel like I'm 10 years behind. And then the stock market crashed, and then I couldn't find a job, and it's just
Yeah.
so,
Well, you've been through a lot and you aren't behind. You're young. You're 41. You're 42. Even if you're 42, you're almost 42. Like, that's not behind.
And
Like,
you're in incredible shape. You know?
you have a good job. You own a home. What if you had told your homeless self, 20 years ago, like, hey, you're going to own a home one day and you're going to have a great dog and you're going to be ripped and you're going to be secure financially. Imagine like you would have said like, wow, like I did it. Like I made it,
yeah, it's pretty crazy. Almost to a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah. That's a great success story.
So
You should remember that and tell yourself that and think about like, talk to your, to your old self, like, and think about how proud that person would be of like how far you have come.
yeah, I try to. So, and just being content with where I am. It's like really trying to focus on that. So
Do you do any gratitude practices?
I was for a little bit, but I've written them on a whiteboard and try to read it as much as I can. So as often as I can. So.
I think the period of my life that changed the most, where things really just started to get better for me, I was doing the 5-minute journal every morning that just has the 3 things you're grateful for, and then
Love
just
that.
writing it about it. But just having an attitude of gratitude, as corny as it sounds, what we look for, we notice. And if we're looking for things to be grateful for, that abundance will multiply in your life. And so if you're finding friends and you're grateful for those friends, you'll find more friends. But yeah.
You got your notebook right there.
Yeah.
You carry that everywhere with you?
No, I just wanted to show you all the notes from all of the podcasts that I had taken.
This is like the ideal podcast guest. Like you got a super fan that's fully into your courses, that's taking notes. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, I watched all of her podcasts.
That's
oh
really
my
cool.
God, look at this. This is like is this notebook filled? Okay, no,
No,
not quite, but
but, like,
pretty close.
Blaine is just as brilliant as she is beautiful. So
Oh,
amazing. So,
you're
like,
so sweet.
you just take a second to like entertain whatever question they have, and you just give such a profound answer, and it's just amazing.
Oh, you're so kind.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so just studied hours.
Okay,
and
you
hours
have
of-
this is a gratitude a little bit. This is some gratitude for things that you have.
Yeah.
This is great. I love your notes. You have the foundation. You know the information. What you need to focus on now is the confidence and making sure that you believe you are worthy, because you are. You bring so much to the table. You have what it takes. It's just going to be a matter of getting out there, meeting more people, continuing to develop yourself, your community. I think making friends is going to be super helpful.
Mhm.
And then the right woman is going to find you. There's going to be plenty of women out there who like you for you and would be lucky to be with you.
Yeah, I think one of the common questions that Chris Williamson has seen is just like, what's my mate value, relationship value? I don't even know. Like, I'm just kind of, because I'm kind of new to dating, so it's just kind of.
Your relationship value is you're a sweet, caring, thoughtful guy that goes above and beyond. You show consistency and stability. You have a great job. You care. Obviously, you have a puppy that you take care of. Like you've got a backbone, and you've got a moral foundation in your church and your beliefs. Like you have a lot that you bring to the table, and like trying to reduce that down to a number just simplifies what. I mean, you're a complex and deep individual. Like I think that you bring a lot to the table, and it's just a matter of finding a woman that appreciates and values that in you. And also the other thing too is like, you don't have to be like going on these dates and just finding a girl and you instantly fall in love. I would say the greatest life hack in the world is to find a girl that appreciates you, maybe that you don't have a romantic connection with, and then become friends with her circle. because there are going to be a bunch more girls in that circle that are single. And now when they're talking about this guy they met, now you've got a first line in there where they've got a recommendation like, hey, he's awesome. That's my Jesus friend. Oh, she needs a guy.
Do you do any yoga?
I used to, so.
I feel like yoga teacher training is a great way. Like, it's going to be so good for your mental health. It's going to be so good for your physical health. And it's a great way to meet people and build community. Those yogis, they're tight-knit community.
Yeah, Black Swan is huge in Austin. They have a bunch of classes.
A yoga teacher training.
Teacher training?
Yeah,
Okay.
2026.
Yeah.
I know you're going to do it now.
And that's going to be awesome for your ankle.
He's going to be like, well, I did
So now I have a 280-hour
Whatever
course.
Blaine's supposed to do, I'll do.
We know that. And I'm saying don't do any more running. Do yoga teacher training. Go to a fitness class 1 time a week. Practice your gratitude journal. Develop a community and meet more like-minded people by sticking with going to churches and
Do a cooking class at Central Market.
really.
Yeah. There's so many women that just don't know how to cook and they go there.
Really?
Yeah, I've done very well there.
Really? There's
Yeah.
single women at this?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're looking for a husband and they're like, well, I can't cook.
So I better learn to cook.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm here.
And also, like, I'm giant into food. So if I meet someone that's super into food, then it's friends. Or you meet a married woman and they're there with their husband, and now you got new friends. You guys talk about food and you go running together. It's not just about dating.
No.
Like, really, you want to expand your circle to have your life be more fulfilling and enriching and engaging. You know?
And find friends and people who see the value that you bring.
Right.
But I really can't emphasize enough, like, you need to also see the value you bring. Like, Mike and I can tell you all day, like, that you're great, but like, you have to believe it, because until you believe it, when you meet women, Mike and I aren't going to be there to be like, let us tell you how great Eric is. She's only going to know how you perceive yourself and what you show and tell her. So you need to be coming with that level of confidence and that level of self-worth.
Right. Income is just kind of the, I guess, question mark. Like, how important is it? I kind of asked you. So,
How important is income level?
yeah, just,
You have a house. That's enough for a first date conversation. You're still in the South. Like, we don't talk religion and politics on first dates generally. So, like, if you don't want to get income, that's a faux pas. Are you gonna ask her how much she weighs?
this is kind of like,
Are you insecure about your financial status?
yeah, just from my background, it's just kind of, I just feel like it's never enough. And then, like, just in the Asian family, it's all about how much money you make. So, and then, like, my uncles, they've told me I'm not even doing good enough. So,
Bro, I have married friends with no bed frame. You're like, yeah, you're good.
yeah.
That's only gonna, like, yes, a woman wants a guy who is successful and a guy who can provide, but like Mike said, you own your home. It's not like you are living out of your car. Like, then I'd say, like, okay, like, we need to talk about, like, getting your life straight before you focus on dating. But everything I know about you, it certainly sounds like you are at a stable enough place to be attracting a quality partner. Yeah, some women want guys with Lamborghinis. They aren't going to date you.
You
Those
don't
women
want
aren't for you.
Lamborghini chicks, for
those,
sure.
Those girls aren't for you anyway.
Yeah.
And if you want one,
Like-
go rent one on Turo, try it out, test drive them both. It's
Show up at your date in a Lambo.
yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't say you're 31 and show up in a Lambo, but also do it once because it's funny.
It'll be good for your stand-up bit.
Dude, it's just a good time. That's the other thing too, man. You should be having fun. Dating's supposed to be fun.
Take it a little less seriously. Have a little more fun.
But yeah, another thing in the Approach Academy was like, maybe I shouldn't ask for their number because the vibe's not there. So part of that is something I've been running into. So
Definitely, if the vibe is not there and you discover that you're not into her or she doesn't seem into you, don't ask for her number.
yeah, so
You're gonna have to talk to a lot of girls to get numbers. And that's like why it's harder offline than on dating apps. Cause like the girls you talk to offline, you don't know if they're single. They haven't opted into you yet. You don't know if you have things in common, where it's at least on dating apps, like some of those things, that's why people defer to them, because it's way easier. Like those things have already been accounted for. But the signal to noise is like, you're just going to have way more volume on dating apps, but you're not going to be able to see if there's an actual vibe until you meet up. So like when you meet people in person, you're going to get to the bottom of whether or not there's a vibe a lot faster.
right.
So even though it feels like harder up front, it's actually going to be a time saver.
And the other thing too is, like, in that flow chart, if the vibe's not there, you don't have to ask for the number for that. Like, hey, do you go to church? Like, if there is like that last girl, you obviously had a connection, were interested in her and found her interesting and fun and engaging, and she found you interesting. You're not friends, but maybe social group. Hey, do you play any sports? Do you do any of this, that, the other? Like a no is just an answer to a future yes in some other way.
Yeah. I think focusing on friendship and community is going to be really helpful for you as well.
All right. Chronic fatigue. So
yeah.
So I just feel
I bet there's a chronic fatigue group. You guys can all be tired together.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
You take naps together.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Show up.
Dude, cuddle puddle. Let's go. CFS. All right. CFS cuddle puddle. That's awesome.
I hear
Make
you.
the shirts.
Like, but you like at the end of the day, like you might not move as quickly because of your chronic fatigue. Like this might be a longer process for you, but that's just your reality.
Yeah.
And you seem like someone who is very committed to getting the results that they want. So as long as you stick with it, sure, it might take you longer. Like you have a different path than other people, but if you want it, you can get there.
Yeah. Bible study's been rough. Like, cause like an 8 o'clock time.
Mm-hmm.
And so like Bible study's at 7 and I'm just like crashing. Like,
yeah.
8, so it's like,
yeah, I'm curious man, you have church on Sunday though. That's at like normal hours and non-work hours, right?
Monday morning or
usually.
Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday morning's good. And you could even double up. You could hit like a 10 a.m. service and a 2 p.m. service.
It's kind of rough. Just
yeah.
I'm also introverted, so it's
yeah.
kind of
No, I can tell.
So
Yeah.
but it's just for context, it's just exhausting to go to church and like talking to so many people, and it's just
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you do you that, and all of these things. Like when I suggest stuff too, this isn't like a right now thing you got to do. This is just as you plan out your 2026 and you look at what you want to accomplish and the goals that you have in that year, and you're thinking like, what are some new experiences I have? These are just some options out there. Like the things that she's giving you, these are opportunities for you to carpe your own DMs. But not every day has to be the best day of your life, and it shouldn't be. It can't be.
No.
So like your best days will be punctuated by your worst days. And so having the full breadth of the experience. So these are just some options that you can take. Church is going to suck sometimes. I don't go, but like other times church is going to be the place you met your wife, so that like, you don't know if you're not at least buying the ticket. Right.
Right. So.
Yeah. Well, Eric, thank you so much for opening up to us. I think, Mike given some great advice. You sound like a dating coach. You got some good lines in there. I love it. I believe in you. I think you have what it takes. And, whether or not you implement all of these things immediately or over time or over the course of the next year, I really do think if you stick with it, you're going to find yourself in a successful place. And Mike and I will be rooting for you. And he'll be pitching.
Yeah, I can't wait to pitch you, man. That's going to be awesome.
Dude, I looked at it and I was like, I don't even have a friend to pitch me.
Well, that's another thing. We got to work on your friend group, but now you have a friend in Mike, and it sounds like he's going to pitch you, and you're going to have a lot of dates to be practicing those talk tracks and romantic connections.
2026.
Yeah,
it's your year. I feel it.
The year of the Eric.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Eric. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Blaine.